Hi everybody. Everybody's hanging at home and needs a knife that's sharp to make some food, or we're going to make some ferments later. But first thing you need is a sharp knife. So today we're going to learn how to sharpen a knife using a Japanese waterstone. I'll show you later how to prepare the waterstone as well, to make sure it's flat. A little bit of a curve in it doesn't matter, but it's good. Best if we can have it flat, at least to start off with, so that we can get the angle of our blade. First of all, we need our stone, and we need a bit of water to put on the stone. Now, if you only have an oil stone, you can use that as well. But instead of using water, you use a light oil, like maybe WD-40 or some Singer oil or something like that. But today we're going to use a water stone. So we'll just wet the stone. Now the stone is best if it's been actually soaked in water. So I keep it in a Tupperware container with water in the actual Tupperware, which keeps the stone soaked with water, and that way when I put water on the surface, it doesn't just suck straight into the stone. It sits on the surface, which helps carry the iron filings away from the blade of the knife. Okay, let's get to work. Just going to show a quick hack how to flatten a waterstone, Japanese waterstone. They're quite soft, and you can flatten them on a Bessa brick. So we'll give it a bit more of a flatten. Just need a bit of water on the rock, on the Bessa block, and flattens it off quite quickly. Flatten off the other side a little bit, so it's got something flat to sit on while we're sharpening. Now you can see we've got like quite a nice flat stone ready to sharpen our knives on. Here we got the basic angle that we need to sharpen a knife. That says 10 to 15 degrees, so depending on whether you want to cut something through a more heavy duty, like cut through bone, or like a pumpkin or something like that, you might want a slightly steeper angle so you don't chip your blade. As you lower the angle of the blade, it becomes finer and becomes better for cutting things like sashimi or fine vegetables, herbs or something like that. So, the first thing I'm going to show you is how to get the right angle on the blade. Now, there's two ways of doing this, or they both have to happen at the same time. You have to visually gauge the angle, and you need to have your hands in a way that you can hold the blade steady. And the other thing is to listen to the sound. When the blade is sitting up on the shoulder of the sharpened edge, it will make a different sound to when it gets to the actual point where the trailing edge, the actual cutting edge of the knife, is touching the stone, and that's where we want it. It'll make like a kind of sizzling sort of sound, like a slight, very fine sort of crackling sound. And there's a few different ways of different patterns for sharpening. This is my preferred pattern, which is everyone has something different, but this works for me. So for the blade facing away from me, for this side, I just do a circular pattern like this, working from the shoulder of the knife back out to the tip of the knife, like that. Nice firm pressure. You can see I'm holding the handle quite tight. I've got this hand bracing the blade. I've actually got my thumb underneath like that, just to support upwards pressure. And now I've got a nice firm grip on the blade. There's no way of cutting myself. There's nothing, no part of the blade is going anywhere near my hands or my body. Now, for the other side, I find the circular pattern doesn't work so well. and I like to work away from my body, so I use like a side kind of action like that to get the other side of the blade, and it should make a nice sizzling noise as it's going across. Now, depending on the sort of knife it is and the sort of cut that you're making, some might want a steeper shoulder. If you like trying to cut through bones or something like that, you're not going to want a really fine edge. If you're doing like sushi or something like that, sashimi, you want as fine as you can get, basically. This is just a kind of an all-purpose angle, probably about 12 to 15 degrees, which means that the overall pitch of the blade is going to be about 30 degrees. Something like that. And then a sweeping action, add water as you need it so the stone gets dry, like that. And this stone is 1200 grit stone, which is fine for most cooking. If you want to do like say boning or skinning or something, you might want to finish it off with a finer stone. This is a 3000 grit stone, which will basically bring it to a polish. And that's about it. I always find the best way to test if a blade is sharp is cut a tomato with it. If it cuts through a tomato easily, then you know it's relatively sharp. It should just cut through it. You shouldn't have to like saw away at the front. It should just slice straight through it. By the way, tomatoes blunt blades faster than just about anything. Those of you who want something a little bit sharper, we're going to sharpen this little paring knife here on a 3000 grit stone. So it should be sharp enough to cut hair after this. We'll see. It should be sharp enough to shave. I'm not going to shave my face with it. This stone's getting a bit old. It's not much of it left, but it should do the trick for this little knife. They clog up quite quickly, these stones, so if you want to clean them, you just turn it over and give it a rub on your other stone like that, and that'll clean the built up iron off that blade and make it cut better. Now, let's see how sharp this is. So one way to tell if this blade is sharp is to shave some hair with it. That's a sharp blade.